Hey, hello everybody, and thank you for our midweek Sunday Club gathering because the news is hot. Finally, after over 10 days of back and forth, will he, won't he, who will, Maharashtra finally has a chief minister, and it's Devendra Fadnavis. And they held the Mahayuti trio held a press conference, and the chemistry between them is very promising, is very upbeat, which is interesting because the media had us believing for the last 1 week that there were major issues going on. Now, one doesn't know if that was true or the chemistry that we saw today is what actually happens between the three of them in the background. That's why we have Smita, who's going to tell us exactly what's been going on for the last 10 days. So, welcome, Smita.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Well, it's not all over because even as we speak, Fadnavis is having a meeting with Shinde because I think Shinde is asking there are three things which Shinde wants is more ministries and definitely the home ministry, which has been clearly told him it is not possible. It's been clearly told. I mean, it's come from the top that he's not going to get the home ministry, but he is trying very hard. Then he wants UD, which is quite okay because that's the ministry he handled. PWD also he will try. Housing he will try. So
All the
basically,
money making ones. All the money making ones.
all the money making is Sohail is so right. All the money making thing he wants, but the thing he feels there was also a rumor in between that he wanted a post which said like the Mahayuti coordinator or something like that. So they said no, we don't want this kind of post. So yeah, and also the fact that behind the scenes, there's also a thought which he apparently expressed some when he was in Satara. He said, "I'm fed up and all, and I will support this government from outside." So that caused a lot of stress for his own MLAs because can you imagine not being in the government? I mean, all these politicians may choose to die, then we not be in power. So that was a big concern, and they all spoke to his son Shrikant Shinde about it also. That there is a huge mandate and we can't be out. So we really don't know what we'll know. I think today by tonight what is the final decision. But the BJP, and quite rightly, is showing a lot of patience, giving him the respect he deserves because he did a good job in 2.5 years. But this mandate is for Fadnavis and BJP, and this kind of delay doesn't really makes no sense for the Mahayuti. But the BJP is showing tremendous patience with him.
Yeah, Ajay, this is what was actually going on because they did fix a date for the swearing in. So they knew things would be resolved by then, but yet it took them so long. So what was happening in the background?
See, this is one of the most hectic parlays of discussions, negotiations, and a virtual extortion that we have seen up till now in the history of NDA allies. None up till now have been able to drag the BJP so immensely. There's no doubt that Shinde has been able to come up with the Ladli scheme, which has helped a lot. The installments helped the women voters get motivated. The caste Maratha equation, the Maratha reservation issue, the disenchantment, which was very apparent during the Lok Sabha polls, it overcast everything else. Apart from the fact that the calculative way in which the entire alliance went forth and Fadnavis was the points person. But then the way in which you saw Shinde taking off to his village, falling sick, all kinds of practices which up till now at least I have never seen, not even in Jharkhand, when Mr. Jaitley used to get things moving and resort politics was at its peak. So nowhere has BJP faced such a stiff opposition with an ally. Look at Bihar, JDU. So the first model which Shinde and company quoted was Bihar, which was never on the scene. After the victory, they quoted Bihar because they wanted a setup like Nitish Kumar. But as Smita has pointed out, BJP has been patient because it doesn't want to lose the momentum. Because if you do not keep up the momentum, how do you win Delhi? Because this is something which is a sore, thorn in BJP's flesh, and you just can't get over it. Imagine being in center for the past third term, three terms. This is third term, and you still can't make it since 2013. Bihar also, Nitish Kumar would have actually pulled the plug in Bihar. Active parallels were going on between Nitish Kumar and Tejasvi and Lalu Yadav. So the ramifications of Maharashtra were huge, something which the BJP did not want to actually venture out. So that is why this prolonged debate. And let's not forget it, Shinde did not want Devendra Fadnavis as the chief minister.
Oh, he
He
didn't.
didn't want,
Okay.
not at all, despite all the bombing that you see, all the, the Hindi mein, as you said, galbaiyan, it didn't happen. He did not want Shinde because he knows that Shinde would ultimately rule him out. And that is a reality. But then the central leadership was absolutely certain about Devendra Fadnavis, and they wanted him because he has scripted a lot of what has gone into making BJP a
Ajay,
successful party.
Ajay, there was this chatter that the central leadership is also split on Devendra Fadnavis. Was this true, or was it just speculative?
No, it was very much true. But
Okay.
given the mandate that you have
Uh,
in your hand, that chatter had to die down. It was because of this split decision or the so-called resistance from one part of the central leadership that Devendra Fadnavis had to accept the deputy CM position because somehow that had to be effected in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sahil, Fadnavis has now spent about 10 years at the helm of politics in Maharashtra. We all recall, how he sort of rode in on his scooter with his wife and child behind him. The picture of middle class sort of sensibility and common sense and character. And in the last 10 years, he's really emerged as the predominant face, I would say, in Maharashtra politics across party lines. What do you make of him as this political brand that he's become in the last 10 years?
So there are three things that are riding for him and riding well. Number one, he's very close to the RSS. There's no question about that. Number two, Narendra Modi likes him. I don't know if Amit Shah likes him. That's for the jury to decide. Number three, in all his tenures, what he has ensured is that the work that the government is supposed to do doesn't get stopped. I said this on your program and I said it on multiple other programs. The problem with the Thackeray communication and the brand was that they were negative in a state like Maharashtra, which is more commercial. See, the average Marathi Manus is not bothered as long as he gets work, he gets food, housing, and work happens. That's how they are. They're not, like other states where they're pretty relaxed and blah blah blah. They also recognize, and while you may say that the Ladli Behan scheme worked, blah blah blah, the truth is, what also worked was what people saw in the last 2.5 years in terms of the work that this government had done. So that's one. Number two, no matter what you might say, the Shinde Fadnavis partnership did work. The problem that they had was with Ajit Pawar. He was always, you know, held out and cast aside, saying that, oh, because of Ajit Pawar and, all the other scandals, blah, 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 it may be a disadvantage to the BJP. But Ajit Pawar also brought his own to the party this time. So I think there is continuity. There is no change in terms of the direction of the government, and there is no uh, issue in terms of how this partnership will work. I genuinely believe that if Uddhav and Aditya had focused on governance and development, this result wouldn't have been the way it was. But I think somewhere down the line, the communication was more in attack mode, or you broke the party, you did this, you're a betrayer. That is between politicians and politicians. The common citizen wants to see A, has the work gotten done? B, how quickly has it gotten done? And are these guys committed? If there's a change, that would have brought everything to a halt.
Pallavi, the can you hear me, Pallavi? Pallavi is looking very tired and unwell today. I hope
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
better.
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're not looking very well today. So, oh, it's frozen. Oh, Pallavi, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Great. So, Pallavi, there was a lot of chatter about Dr. Shrikant Shinde, who is his son, taking over as deputy CM till he clarified that that's not what he's in for. But he's here as an MP in Delhi. What is the buzz around him? What are you hearing in Parliament, and what has the chatter been in the last week, at least, in Parliament about, this Maharashtra CM thing taking so long?
See, I think as far as Shrikant Shinde is concerned, he's been very open about it. He wants to stay in Delhi. He wants to remain as an MP, possibly at some point of time. If a cabinet reshuffle takes place, he joins the cabinet. But two quick points I'm going to make here. One, it's highly likely because I think it's going to get official in a bit if it's not already. I mean, Smita will know. I think Eknath Shinde has agreed to be sworn in as a deputy CM. See, two quick points. Even as the BJP legislative party meeting was taking place in Mumbai at around 11 o'clock, you had the leaking out of the invitation card for tomorrow's oath. And if you look at the copy of that card, which is now in the public domain, it did mention Devendra Fadnavis as the chief minister. So as far as the BJP was concerned, it was all set. And I think the leakage was also possibly, kind of well thought out that
This, I
we
mean,
made up our mind on
all,
Devendra Fadnavis and it's going to be our chief minister. That's second. Uh, second quick point. I'll just finish it off. Second quick point. I think the BJP understands, and at the end of the day, all the three constituents of the Mahayuti alliance, they have to address their party workers also. Na? I mean, Eknath Shinde, from becoming a CM to deputy CM, how would he convince his vote bank and his party workers? So he had to throw those little tantrums. We also had to show that I'm very unhappy. And remember those caustic comments that Dixit took at Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar takes at him just outside the Raj Bhavan. Similarly, the same case with the BJP. Well, of course, for BJP, it's not much of a problem. It was very clear that they put a larger number of seats. Same with Ajit Pawar. And finally, big BMC elections going to come up. And over there,
you
Eknath
see,
Shinde will have to play an important role in terms of Shiv Sena, unseating the Shiv Sena.
I
So
have a
here, I'm just
recommendation.
finishing. So I think
Why
these are the
don't
main
you
three factors
create the
which
Sunday
perhaps I
Club
think the
around
BJP
her
knew.
travel
BJP
schedule?
knew.
Because it is irritating for all of us, including the viewers, because I can't understand a damn of what she's saying.
Pallavi, switch your video off, huh? Then you won't use that much
Her
bandwidth and we
English
can get
is
your audio.
woefully inadequate. Then there's mobility added to that inadequate English, and we're all driven nuts.
Smita,
So here
coming
you
to you.
talk now. I'm listening now.
No,
Smita,
I have a little different take, like I know that the traditional BJP voters and all the Sangh Parivar, they may not like Ajit Pawar, and in this last, uh, I would say, the Mahayuti regime, people have been saying it so openly. But if you see in this entire, not only the election but the Lok Sabha, Ajit Pawar, of course, didn't have much stake. But post Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, these 4.5 months, the kind of work Ajit Pawar has done is commendable, actually. And according to me, whenever I used to say this, people don't like it. Ajit Pawar has shown tremendous political maturity. It shows that he has probably seen this drama, playing out in his life for many, many years vis-a-vis the uncle. So Ajit Pawar's position has been extremely, I would say, matured. He knows that he has also bargained, but he has bargained behind the scenes. He knows that he has to till now play the role of
Will he be
the
deputy CM? Will
he
he be
will be
deputy CM?
deputy CM. He will be deputy CM with the finance portfolio, 100%. So he knows that, what I feel when I look at Ajit Pawar's body language is he knows that his time will come. His time is going to be perhaps in 2029, and I feel that in the next 1 year I will see whatever MLAs are left with Sharad Pawar will try and cross over. There is already a talk of a Sharad Pawar MP trying to already talk to Fadnavis. So
Which
I
MP?
can, yeah. So I see. I think the next move of the NDA getting stronger in Maharashtra is going to come via the MLAs and the MPs leaving Sharad Pawar and going to Ajit Pawar. I'm predicting this. The shift from Uddhav Thackeray to Eknath Shinde is also very natural. It is going to happen. The BMC elections, according to me, and I could be wrong, it's not happening immediately because the matter is in Supreme Court. I know there is a hearing, there is a matter in Supreme Court, there's a delimitation issue also. Election and Mahayuti will not be in any big hurry to have the BMC elections. Number two. Number three, look at the post election scenario. I was privy to the information that there was a big meeting of all the MLAs. I mean, even the candidates who fought for Uddhav Thackeray in his house, and they were literally telling him to get out of Mahavikas Aghadi because it has really destroyed their reputation. And he's realized it, but he can't leave Mahavikas Aghadi. But yesterday, he has told some of his staunch followers that you pick up the issue of Hindutva whenever the next election is around. I find it laughable because he's left, and he always says my Hindutva is different than your Hindutva, but the people have figured out what he really wants to do. Fadnavis's position, what happened in these 10 days now, has irked many people within the BJP, saying that did we support Shinde for this? That there was a feeling like that. There is still a feeling like that. The other thing is there's also a small group within the BJP which is trying to tell them 2029 BJP should try and go solo.
No, but let's be honest. It is
Huh?
because of Shinde, it's because of
Yeah,
Shinde and Ajit Pawar that this government came into existence. So
I agree.
while the
I agree.
BJP, while the BJP's birthmark is in gratitude, at least on this count, they need to be grateful because it's because of Shinde and Ajit Pawar that Devendra was even deputy chief minister. So,
Which is why the
some level of
BJP waited
gratitude must
now.
be offered to the
Which is
Shinde.
why but I think, Suhail, which is why the BJP has been waiting to reach out to Eknath Shinde. They let him get that space, they let him throw his tantrums. Of course, the BJP understands that. We spoke to people here, and they say we
This,
do
even
understand that.
1 minute, one
But
minute.
one thing they are
Smita is
very
the expert on Maharashtra. Yeah,
No,
Smita.
no, no. I'm just saying one thing. Even in 2019, BJP was the biggest party. They had 105 MLAs. So the BJP has consistently crossed 100 mark, where the magic figure is 145. What is surprising is that the way Shinde has behaved is exactly the kind of tantrums Uddhav used to, throw. He said, "Oh, Amit Shah ji has to come to Matoshri to talk to us." Then he would then do this and again keep on negotiating. So the core BJP voters are saying, fed up of this blackmail and this thing. You ensure that you fight. They fought 146 seats, and of course they also gave some MLAs to Shinde as well as to Ajit
Now,
Pawar.
what will
So
happen to the Thackeray's?
so I'll tell you something. May I say this? This is the beginning. People always say this is the beginning of the end of the Sharad Pawar legacy. I'm calling this the beginning and end of the Thackeray legacy. Literally, I'm telling you, the next 1 year is very crucial for Uddhav Thackeray. He's going to lose everybody. Number one. And Raj Thackeray could not even open his account. Can you believe it? For all the thousands of people, lakhs of people who come to listen to Raj Thackeray, but nobody wants to vote for him. The second thing is Raj Thackeray ended up splitting the votes. This confusion which Raj Thackeray always has. Should he be part of the NDA or see confusion in Lok Sabha? Total support for Narendra Modi, complete support for Narendra Modi. So that was the Lok Sabha position. In Vidhan Sabha, he did not was not part of the Mahayuti. He ended up splitting Mahayuti vote. In fact, because of Raj Thackeray, Aditya Thackeray won and Milind Devra lost because of Raj Thakkre's candidate. Many places he has actually ended up helping Uddhav Thackeray. So I don't understand Raj Thakkre's political ideology, but people are definitely rejecting Sohail, both the Thackerays. And this election has really marked that.
Ajay wants to come in. Ajay, go ahead, please.
Uh, this is exactly the point that just after the polling, I had written a piece, and it seems that we are seeing a complete dynamic shift in Maharashtra politics. Imagine the entire Hindutva plank being taken away from Balasaheb Thackeray. I mean, it's a completely different ballgame. It's the end of Thackeray's. Let's completely accept that fact. Uddhav Thackeray has diminished his party. His decisions to join the Maha Vikas Aghadi and to the thirst and the lust to be the chief minister has ultimately led to the demise of the party. Raj Thackeray, in any case, was not a happening force. And Sharad Pawar, despite his all intuitive genius of understanding Maharashtrian politics to the core, came out as a cropper this time. It is impossible to imagine a Sharad Pawar. I mean, I have covered him at number of Lok Sabha elections, Vidhan Sabha elections. The man is supposed to know Maharashtra like the back of his hand, and he could not even get Congress to publicly announce that let's make Uddhav Thackeray the chief minister. He could not get Congress to even come around and accept a consensus on candidates. His own campaign was completely flawed. The whole purpose of Baramati and everything else just boomeranged. So Sharad Pawar legacy is gone. I mean, the man who could not be the maverick of Maharashtrian politics and Indian politics, even IIC, is today shattered. In his lifetime, Sharad Pawar has seen his legacy go down the drain. You cannot expect Supriya Sule to really take hold of CP. Not at all. She's a very competent, parliamentarian, but she's not a somebody who can drive a party. She will not have that kind of a power like Ajit Pawar has. He has the knack to do it. Smita rightly pointed it out. Ajit has played out his innings well, and wait and watch. He will be the rightful legacy holder of NCP.
He's playing a test match. Ajit Pawar is
He's
playing a test match.
absolutely he's played it for the long time. So
But
now you will have an
can I
yes,
take
please.
something what Ajay has said? I'll tell you, if you see Maharashtra politics, there is like a vehement, like a vitriolic hate from all sides, from the progressives, from the liberals, from the media, for Fadnavis. And of course, the caste factor is he's a Brahmin, so Maharashtra always the Brahmin versus Maratha. But I'll tell you the real reason, and I say this, and people don't like it. Fadnavis has ended up doing a Sharad Pawar to Sharad Pawar. This what Sharad Pawar has done to all political parties from 1978 is what Fadnavis has ended up doing to Sharad Pawar. He's understood, break everybody. He has broken the Congress. He has gone out of Congress, come back to Congress, again left Congress in 1999 to start his own this thing. Sharad Pawar, Fadnavis has understood the way Sharad Pawar works and has done a Sharad Pawar on Sharad Pawar. He has broken him to the hilt. He knows that there is no going back. Then the caste factor came. The again this caste activist Manoj Jarange Patil, what did he do? Did not fight for the cause of the Marathas, but continued to make personal attacks on Fadnavis. Obviously, he is being propped up by the Mahavikas Aghadi. So today, if you look at Sharad Pawar, he is on back foot because now somebody has done something to him what he since 1978 has been doing in Maharashtra. Number two, Sharad Pawar has never crossed. Sharad Pawar has always been in double digits in Maharashtra. He does not have the capability of forming a government on his own. So this whole narrative of Chanakya and this is all bullshit according to me. He is very powerful in three districts from where majority of these votes come. Even now, I was told, though he contested last, do you know they all contested around 80 seats individually, and he has won 10 seats. This
But
is
you
the
told us,
destination
yeah,
of Sharad Pawar.
yeah.
So all this blah blah now Chanakya and all is all these. I don't want to say these typical liberal journals of India today and this Chanakya and all rubbish. महाराष्ट्र की जनता को कोई चाणक्य नहीं है. There's only one Chanakya in Maharashtra, which is Fadnavis.
Don't
खत्म कर
forget
दिया.
Congress. Don't forget Congress. Imagine the demise of a
Oh,
political party in Maharashtra. 48 Lok Sabha seats.
Who's
It's
this?
just like
Congress.
Congress. Just look at Congress. After Bihar and after UP, the one state where they could have had some prospects was Maharashtra. I mean, they are wiped out from Bengal for good. Bihar and UP, they are wiped out for good. You can just write them off from these states.
also,
The other
also, I'm surprised with Congress. I have literally, if you apply your rational mind, it doesn't work with Congress. Imagine giving your seats where there is your traditional vote bank to Uddhav Thackeray. Where Uddhav Thackeray has won is where the vote bank is of the Congress. Imagine मेरी seats मैंने दे दिए उद्धव ठाकरे को बड़ा किया. I mean, who is handling Maharashtra from Congress? Yeah, they are not even brain dead. I don't think they took this election seriously. Uddhav
They could
Thackeray
also
को
focus on Wayanad.
I would rather
everybody
use
was
Smita, I would
Maharashtra
rather use the
also
term
in
brain
Wayanad.
rot for Congress.
Shocking है
So
Congress.
what will happen to
I give up.
Priyanka Chaturvedi and Sanjay Raut?
Out. I mean, they can't. Priyanka, I have heard this. I'm me no fan of Priyanka Chaturvedi, but I think she is already in talks with another third political party. I'm not surprised. And Raut, the bakwas, like Congress leaders actually say that if you
He's the poor
stop
man's
Raut,
Jairam Ramesh.
yeah,
Poor man's Mani Shankar
he's
Rai.
worse. He's worse than Jairam Ramesh, I'm telling you. That
He's
9 o'clock
Mani
press
Shankar Rai.
conference has ruined Maharashtra Mahavikas Agadi, but the press conference continues. So I think the worst is not losing, but the worst is not even realizing why we lost. And that is why I'm telling you this is the beginning of the end.
Very good.
Do
I mean,
you
if
think
you
so also? Sohail, do you think it's the beginning of the end?
See, you can never say never in politics. You don't know what will happen. The deviousness of the Indian political class is so magnificent. They might, you never know what prevents Uddhav Thackeray from coming back to the BJP. I don't know.
I was just going to ask that. Do you think that's a possibility?
Who knows? It may not be Uddhav, it may be someone else.
But why crossover? I mean, the MLAs in any case are free to move over to Shiv Sena.
See, the beauty about Maharashtra politics is no politician there is there for governance. They're there to make money and then scoot. Ideological MLAs are far in between. The only ideological party there used to be Shiv Sena, is today the BJP. That's an ideology-driven party. The rest they are ready to move. They're like Pallavi. They'll move anywhere. Just tell them this time, and they'll be
Pallavi
there.
has been at CNN News 18 for decades, okay?
I didn't mean that way. I meant her mobility technique. She's always in
Acha,
a
like
car.
that.
That's what I meant. Obviously, funds are lost on you.
Somebody in the chat is asking whether I'm related to Ritesh Deshmukh, and I'm not.
Thank you for clarifying. By the way, his brothers also lost.
Yeah, he's one brother won and one brother lost. But even the Amit Deshmukh's victory is very very minimalistic votes. I mean, some of the people who have lost. I mean, Sohail, imagine Prithviraj Sawan has lost.
Sad.
Babakar
Sitting
Thorat has
sequence
lost.
in the
Congress is finished. Seriously. I mean, if Congress को यहाँ से आगे ऊपर लेके आना, I mean, ginormous task. The head of Congress in Maharashtra won by 240 votes, and those are postal votes.
See, we can virtually sit and write the epitaph for Congress. And you can see the same happening in Delhi. I mean, this time in Delhi also, once the elections come through, I don't think they'll better themselves. They can't get more than zero. It doesn't appear to be as of now. Because why should anybody? I was speaking to a few representatives and a few friends around within the minority communities. That is where the Congress hopes that they'll be able to secure something in Delhi. And the first thing that people come up with, why vote for the Congress when you know that they'll never form the government? So just imagine, even in Maharashtra, the Muslims did not really go in and vote for the Congress. They preferred Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray. Imagine the contradiction.
Unbelievable.
That is
Unbelievable.
Maharashtrian politics between
That's
2022 Lok
totally.
Sabha elections and the assembly elections. Minority communities at most of the places preferred to vote in for Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena, and they did not want to vote for the Congress. That is the empathy, or rather, what should I say? The right word, I'm not getting it. The kind of disdain, let's put it, the disdain that people have with Congress, the disillusionment. There is so Maharashtra, obviously, imagine a place from where the entire Congress movement took place pre-independent India. Is a place from where Maharashtra you're wiped out. You have finished the legacy of Gandhi. You've finished the legacy of entire Congress top brass, Nehru. It's all over for the Congress within third generation.
Sohail,
Pitiful.
this particular loss, the Congress has been losing a lot, but this particular loss in Maharashtra feels like a body blow. If you're playing
It
Mortal
means nothing
Kombat,
to them.
this is like the kill blow. It really
It
feels that
means
way.
it means nothing. The Congress is numb politically. It's a numb political apparatus. When you're numb, you feel nothing. You are comatose. You suddenly wake up when the ventilator performs its job, but there's nothing that you're doing of your own or on your own to make things happen. I have never seen the decline of a political party as rapidly, with such ferocity and such vain behavior like that of the Congress. You see, this is what happens when political parties are run by families, because you mistake critique for criticism. You treat yourself as a feudal lord, and therefore there can be no disagreement. And you treat people badly. Most of the people who've left the Congress didn't leave because they ideologically hated the Gandhis. They left because they were treated poorly, whether it was Himanta Biswa Sarma, whoever it was. Milind Deora, for instance. So I'm not here to, condole the demise of the Congress. The demise is over. Just the burial remains. And what remains is whether this burial oblique cremation will be done by sitting members of the family, or someone will have the courage from within the Congress to say, I am going to uphold the Congress ideology. It's all right to say Nehru's my grandfather and Indira Gandhi is my grandmother and Rajiv Gandhi was my father. And it's quite another to live up to those ideals. People today who are between the age of 18 and 30 don't even remember when Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi were prime minister. The world has changed. The sad part is the Congress hasn't. Modi is a full-time politician, as is Amit Shah. They're full-time politicians. They're not hobbyists. They don't sleep in parliament out of, fatigue. They're much older than the young man. So when you show disdain of this kind, you don't have the moral courage then to question any government, to question any bill, any process. You can't be leader of opposition when you want to go to Sambhal, but actually sleep in parliament where laws are made. That's my limited thought on the Congress. And by the way, I feel bad that the Congress has come to this, not because of the Congress, because no democracy can be a vibrant democracy without a throbbing opposition. But it is not Narendra Modi and Amit Shah's job to go to Khan Market to buy or look for an opposition. The opposition must self-create, and that's not happening.
Smita, reviewers are asking what happens to Aditya Thackeray now.
Nothing. He'll continue his wokery and talk. I mean, he's a darling of the woke and the liberal media. But I want to come back to that time period when the Maharashtra Aghadi really went, was on an upswing during the Lok Sabha election. So what happened between that time was that when the numbers came of Maharashtra, and after 10 days they realized that there was a pattern. Of course, there was a section which calls it the vote jihad, but there was a pattern in which, in one particular, especially Dhule Lok Sabha constituency, you will see that the five Vidhan Sabha constituencies went majoritarianly towards the BJP, and there was one particular constituency, assembly constituency, which had a lot of minority voters, completely 100% went to the Mahavikas Aghadi. So obviously there was a lot of money which was coming. There was a lot of way in which the vote was gathered. There was a lot of elements of being, I mean, where religious leaders were brought and told. And the same pattern was used by it's like he countered the entire Sharad Pawar narrative of gathering the votes with his own votes. This time, lot of temple priests, pujaris, kirtankars, whether those people who sing povadas, they were all motivated in, and not even in rural Maharashtra, but even in urban Maharashtra. I was just telling somebody, my own temple, which I go thrice a week, the pujari was holding these meetings, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "No, no, I'm talking to everybody. Have you registered? You have to vote. It is a dharma yudh." So again, the stakes were so high for Fadnavis. He was backstabbed in 2019. He had to take a seat back to make somebody the chief minister, and then he loses in Lok Sabha. He told, there is information that he told Amit Shah that I don't want to be deputy CM, I would like to work for the party. They said, no, you have to be deputy CM and work for the party. And he, in this 5 months, did a complete turnaround. While the MBA, I'm telling you, you go to any event in even a big city like Mumbai, Pune, and you meet these leaders, they were so arrogant. अरे स्मिता जी हम तो आ रहे हैं, हमारी सरकार आ रही है. I said, sir, election में अभी time है. No, no, they were arrogant to the core. They were sleeping. And
They were
behind that, Fadnavis turned the tables against them. They still haven't recovered from it. I'm telling you, 10 days, they have still not recovered from it.
Ajay, how much of this, this Hindu revival, this Hindu unity call that Yogi Adityanath and even the Prime Minister later made, how much of it do you think is working? Because, like Smita is saying, this awakening, this Dharm Yudh feel, the pujaris calling gatherings in the mandir and saying register kiya. These are all very like new things, aren't they?
Not really. I mean, you saw the same playbook being dealt at in Haryana. Let's not forget that. In Haryana, RSS held more than 20,000 meetings, small meetings of 15, 20, 30 people. And they did try to form an opinion. See, the whole concept about vote jihad, which Fadnavis came about, was not a thinking out of his own. Definitely, a lot was at play. Can we really call it vote jihad? I think that's an exaggeration. But yes, we have known in the past that minority communities have tried to come together, not on a single platform, but yes, tried to come together. A consolidation of the Hindu minds was necessary to come up over caste barriers.
Right.
If you don't do that, how do you win? So polarization has to happen. Now, the polarization did not happen on communal lines. The polarization was much more on the Hindu mindset of bringing people above the caste barriers to poll together.
Why is it
Now,
working now, though? Why is it working now? I know the
it is
RSS is very active in this, but apart from that, is there any other reason apart from that?
when you're looking at the way in which appeasement unhindered is going through. And let's not forget, for the past almost 15 years, Gradually, consciousness about Hindu identity is also forming within the Indian masses. It's a dynamic shift that we have seen over the past 15 years, which resulted in 2014. It was not just corruption, it was not just anti Congress vote or the anti UPA vote, it was also coming together of the Hindu minds. And that awakening or cultural sense has been seen across, has been seen in many countries. It's not something which is new. The right ideology has now found a space in Indian politics. And we have to accept this fact. See, up till now, right was considered to be something heinous.
Hmm.
In the past 15 years, there is a dynamic shift, and that also has happened because of the social media presence.
Yeah.
Lack of information always distorted the opinions. So, if you're, I imagine my own days during college, if you were anywhere close to an ABBP or you knew people in RSS, you were a pariah. You're not allowed to, even exist within the JNU campus or for that matter, even Delhi University. Sohail would bear me out. I'm sure something like this
In
was
fact,
very.
I
I never went to Jadavpur University or Delhi University. I was in Calcutta. We were far more civilized, and we didn't even bother about who's from the RSS, who's from here, who's from there. So we didn't give a shit.
no, but
Great.
you were real friends with Arun Jaitley and saw him through this entire period,
Yeah, but
right?
I didn't
From
ever discuss politics with him, and that's what I'm saying. The tragedy is that politics has infected every element of our life, and it is actually breaking up friendships today because everyone is taking such polarized views. So today, if I disagree with Smitha, she will actually think I'm her enemy because the polarization has actually happened to such an extent that doesn't bode well for India. And the appeasement has taken on a different level. See what's happening in Bengal. It is insane. And this is not going to stop. So you're actually at a precipice because what's happening is everyone is going to be strident. We never discuss religion in public. I went last week and spoke at the Hindu Baps Mandir. It's called the Baps Hindu Mandir. I haven't called it. It's called that. Outstanding. It's serene. It's in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE, where no other religion was allowed a visual, a place for worship. And I love what the Swamiji said after my lecture. He says, it's interesting that I want people who come here thinking they believe in God to actually leave by saying God believes in them. Does that sentence belong to any religion? No. Does it belong to any faith? No. So I think you have to take cognizance that this is a dark hole. And let me tell you, Smitha will correct me if I'm wrong. People in Maharashtra are not getting swayed by religiosity. They get swayed by governance. They don't like this low life language that the routes use. It upsets them. So,
Okay.
please understand that Maharashtra was not won by the BJP for Hindutva. It was won by the BJP on governance and development. And
Yeah, but
give BJP credit. The moment you say Hindutva, you're making the BJP seem its governance is screwed up or its governance is skewed. Neither of which is true.
I agree with Sohail, but I also found this time that some of the speeches which Fadnavis gave, he was the face of this little aggressive Hindutva. He did not. He knew the stakes were way too high for him, and what Fadnavis did, as you know, he's a Swayamsevak himself. He brought the RSS back in Maharashtra, and how? I mean, the 50 to 60 of the top pracharaks of RSS were in Maharashtra. They started a door-to-door campaign called Sahaj Raho, means stay vigilant. And they went to, I'm telling you, I on the day of the election, my phone was buzzing. Oh, RSS people came, they took senior citizens. The kind of involvement, they came to my house to check whether वो पर्ची मिला कि नहीं. I said I've been voting all my life, so it will come. but it was unbelievable. I mean, they are the unsung heroes of this election. They never ask for any recognition. We bash them all the time, but this is something has to be really noted. And Fadnavis went. He knew that if he has to counter the MBA narrative of the way they were the way the votes were brought together in one pool for Lok Sabha, he also had to go and attack them. And that Nomani, that Maulana Nomani helped us when he put out that press statement and he says we all have to vote for Sharad Pawar, followed by Uddhav Thackeray and Congress. That that video went international. All the Marathi, friends and contacts of mine all over the world sent me that video. Imagine अगर US and Australia से वो video आ रहा है तो महाराष्ट्र में तो गया होगा, no? So I think what Sohail is right. He played a balancing act, of course, governance because he has enough work to show. Then they told us what Mahavikas Aghadi did to us. All the projects were stopped. All this wokery and activism means all the projects were stopped. And of course, the new aggressive, confident Fadnavis with the RSS with him 24/7.
Ajay, that's how Fadnavis is actually different also, right? He's not sort of positioning himself as this Hindutva
Exactly.
icon.
Exactly.
He's doing it differently.
Which is what I said, development.
Agreed. What Sohail is saying. See, there are two models now that you can discuss about when you talk about regional leadership.
Right.
At one end of the spectrum is Yogi Adityanath, who is a Hindu mascot, a saffron-clad sadhu, a yogi, who is also an effective administrator. And he links his projects of development to the concept of universalization of Hindutva. The other end of the spectrum is a man who is a face of development, Devendra Fadnavis, who also, by the way, accepts the Hindutva way of life. So BJP that way is balancing out every edge of the spectrum, looking at leadership which can contribute to the local environments. Why do I say so? Look at Hemant Biswa Sharma. The kind of development that Hemant Biswa Sharma has been able to effect in Assam was unthinkable prior to the BJP government in Assam. Not that the Congress was unable to or could not have done what the present government. But was Congress even attempting to do something like that? Look at Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is a perfect so-called laboratory of Hindutva as well as a face of development. You still have a lot of lacunae within Madhya Pradesh, especially when it comes to its status of women, children. Yes, a lot has to be done. The current spate in Rajasthan, while the leadership may not appeal as much in Rajasthan, the face may not be very reflective because we were also mesmerized by the Maharani. But frankly, a new genre is being experimented. So BJP is now, over the past 10 years, gradually, effectively bringing regional leadership, which is a good mix of Hindutva with development. That is what I feel. That's my personal feeling.
That's really what's happening. I think that's so well put because you see BJP doing this, Sohail, but on the other hand, you don't see these dynastic parties being able to do this. Yes, there is a little bit of push and pull in the BJP. We hear about it often, but at least, like Ajay says, there are two versions of leadership that are emerging very organically. But in the Congress and these other family-led parties, it's like go bank or go bust, right?
So let me tell you, I'll give you the brand analysis as to what's happened. The BJP today, and not because at one stage he was my briefing client or whatever, so I've known his descriptor. Narendra Modi is development first, everything else second. MU Ravi he says, 5% is also, only 5% they speak on Hindutva and that's played up. That's par for the course. The BJP has always used development as the plank. The problem is the surround sound. The surround sound which they cannot deafen. A, B, the BJP is the worst communicator of all the good that they've done. Let me tell you, no prime minister of India has done more for the Muslims than Narendra Modi has. But you know what he will be remembered for? Oh, इन्होंने division किया, divisiveness, because no one has been able to communicate. And when everyone is talking about religion, that gets more amplification because religion is what is pan India. A bridge in Maharashtra is not pan India. The coastal road in Bombay doesn't make a Chennai guy excited. Why should it? So, three things have to happen. Number one, I genuinely believe it is time for the BJP to pull back and create a strategy of communication which is not only national but also global. Globally, they are woefully inadequate. Anything that happens, the BJP gets blamed for saying by divisiveness. Up until the Gandhis were ruling India, 672 riots took place. No one knows that that has ended. So all I'm saying, Advaita, is look at Maharashtra. What has the Congress ever said in the last 10 years? Since 2014, what has the Congress said? It is a fault finding party. It isn't a solution giving party. They have a problem for every solution. And the hatred that Rahul Gandhi has for Narendra Modi has now spilled over to perhaps perceptually the hatred for India as it is today. It doesn't behove. Please remember what unites Indians is not here, what they see abroad. Now, when you go abroad, the NRI today is no longer apologetic because his government in India does not make him feel apologetic. You may laugh that when Modi goes, there are NRI meets and there's this and that. Why not? People, if I'm an NRI, if I'm an Indian of Indian origin living in America, I want my American citizens to feel I've got a strong leader. I
Yeah.
don't have a leader who's apologizing for India being what it is. That has changed. And let me tell you, no matter what people say, imagine you flip the situation. Would Rahul Gandhi be able to deliver the economic prosperity that we have today? Answer is no. Would Rahul Gandhi have the nerve to stay the course? The answer is no. Rahul Gandhi is a political activist trapped in a politician's body. That's the problem.
Yeah, so and they are also aided by the fact that Rahul Gandhi goes to these very same countries and then badmouths India, right? So he's just making them look better and better rather than making them look worse.
Because all Modi needs to do is देखिए बाहर जाके भी देश की निंदा कर रहा है. A, B, if you ever want to win a marketing battle, you have to set the agenda. You cannot allow someone else to set the agenda and you're always in response mode. They're always in response mode. They have no agenda setting. Caste census, then people say, but you were the guys who opposed the caste census. Then what? They can't say anything. So there is no one crafting strategy. And let me tell you, slogans don't win votes. And I said that earlier. Even on this program, I said that please don't think hum ek hain to safe hain and ye wo will win elections. The elections have been won at the dint of hard work, courage, and a developmental track record of Fadnavis and Shinde and Pawar, Ajit Pawar. Please give credit where it is due. The RSS rallied the troops and made people go out and vote. That was important. But the RSS didn't say, if you're a Hindu, please vote BJP. They didn't say that.
No, it never
That's
says
what we've
that.
got to understand. But I'm saying
They
that's
never
what we've
say
got to
that.
understand.
See, Aditya, there is one more fact that during our discussions we should really think about it. Congress harps about divisiveness of India since 2002. Let's just count how many riots since 2014. Criminal violence. What happened in Sambal could have gone completely out of proportion. If you see the unedited videos, some of which I could see, it was not a crowd. It was a well organized, well planned attack. There is a difference between a crowd and an attack. and how it was quelled. Everybody raised questions about police firing. Medical reports is a good example that there was no police fire, not a single bullet from police was used. So the kind of perception which is created, you always come out with a perception. Look at what the Congress and the Gandhis come out with. Secularism is under threat. The constitution is under threat. Which is the political party which imposed emergency in India? Which is the political party which used the parliamentary route to actually admonish the minorities? Which is the political party which actually brought in a legislation for enhancing reservation to 50%? And which is the political party today saying that we want to breach the Supreme Court's ruling of 50% reservation and make it much more?
I mean, they just want, I'm sorry to say this, the things they suggest will just set this country on fire. And that's what is so diabolical about everything, that it comes from that end. But thank you everybody so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. It was a great show. It's on a Wednesday evening at 7:30. So I was really impressed at the viewership we got. Over 1,100 people watching us live. It was fantastic. And it's all thanks to my very informed panel and, of course, my superior skills as a hostess.
Can I take the last word
Of course.
in this? That I feel somebody asked me last week that what was, if you ask me, that one factor which helped the Mahayuti to win, and I said if I have to pinpoint one factor, it is the women. The women came out in record numbers, because for the first time, and I must, this would be interesting for Suhail, who says that the BJP never really communicates. They really communicated the Ladki Bahan Yojana in a big way. And also the fact that all these initiatives, they said the ads were done so interestingly. The ad said, oh, you're getting a senior citizen is getting a free bus ride. But you know what happens
Yeah.
if the Fadnavis Shinde government goes? Then it's going. So you could see, early morning at most of the polling booths across Maharashtra, there were women. There was 5 to 6% increase in the woman vote. That is like a big thing. And of course, the second factor, I must tell you, as he said, in Maharashtra, certain things don't work. In Maharashtra, these personal attacks don't work. Uddhav Thackeray's every meeting was like a, gali galoch, I'm going to say. He was angry and frustrated, and his personal frustration was coming out on Shinde as well as on Fadnavis. Even Aditya Thackeray lost his twice. I thought he lost his mental balance in doing this. Maharashtra, we don't like this. We would like to play the clean slate. Here everybody has to maintain that decorum, and I think they lost it because of this absolute negative vitriolic personal attacks which they did, and people don't like it here. So these two were again very important points I thought I must speak about.
No, that's great. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. And also, I mean, some dramatic things took place today. The assassination attempt on Sukhbir Singh Badal, which I think was sort of caught on camera, really frightening. So lot of stuff going on, as well as Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra heading to Sambal and being stopped at where were they stopped? They were stopped somewhere on the way, which led to like commuters actually getting into fisticuffs with the Congress workers because they were really upset at the inconvenience. So that's what has also happened today. But thank you again for watching, and we will be back soon. So bye for now and take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.